Hey, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is that you're listening to this. Thank you for being with me here on USB Unaffiliated Sports Broadcast. Um, no, seriously, thank you. We're wrapping up the basketball season here as the Grantsville Ladies have now finished their season out. We'll get into that in just a second. But for shout out time, we definitely got to give a shout out to Tooele Football's Franklin Wilcox, the kicker for them. If I remember correctly, pretty sure that's all he did. It's been a minute since I looked at that stuff, but he does a great job. He committed to Arizona Christian University in Glendale, Arizona. You can find that information on Twilla Athletics Instagram page. But we just want to give a shout out to him. Congratulations, young man. Well deserved. Go do great things. We're super excited for you, and best of luck in your football future and your regular future. So, wanted to give a quick shout out to him. Congratulations there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not fully up to speed on everything else right now, so that was the shout out that I knew off the top of my head. So I wanted to make sure we got him out there. So let's get into the. I don't even know what the title is. The season recap, because I don't feel like it's truly a season recap. I mean, we can definitely turn it into that, but we're gonna just recap the Grantsville Ladies 3A tournament because I did not get to the recap of the Grantsville Emory game, and I had no coverage of the South Summit Grantsville game because things just got a little crazy. And I got behind on stuff. So I do apologize for that, but either way, let's get into it. So on Tuesday, or after being Judge Memorial on Monday evening, they went into the semifinals. The Grantsville Ladies did against Emory. Now Emory is a playoff foe for these guys. Yeah. And last time that the two teams had met, I mean, it wasn't even a competition. So I have to admit, I was a little bit shocked. I was a little bit shocked. Um, but Emory ends up taking that semifinal game, and they end up beating Grantsville 50-7 or 50-47, excuse me. So 3 point margin. In terms of the stats of that game, Emory played a great first quarter, 17-9, and then Grantsville bounced back 16-9. Pretty tight going into halftime, and even third quarter split of 10-10, and pretty close fourth quarter 14-12. Watching that game, I think Emory did a really good job of moving the ball quickly and efficiently to bypass some of that defensive pressure. And then they also did a really good job, in my opinion, of clogging up lanes and forcing Grantsville into some tough or even bad shots. And there was a lid. There was a lid on the basket for Grantsville. I mean, they had some opportunities, but they just were not dropping. The frustration was clearly there, and you got to give a shout out to Emory. They definitely bounced back from the last meeting, and they had a game plan that was effective. So, overall, I mean, it was a pretty good game, but you know, kind of similar to that first game, you were just kind of watching it, and the Grantsville Ladies were kind of doing some things that just felt uncharacteristic. Some turnovers that I don't think we were accustomed to really seeing. And again, the biggest factor was that there was just a lid on the basket, and I couldn't help but wonder if because that was two games in a row where I felt like the ladies were getting calls or fouls called on them that I don't think historically throughout the season they were getting, and that had a huge impact on the defensive pressure that they were able to play. Um, and so it just got me wondering, like, how much of that is just a byproduct of maybe the refs throughout the season, not calling certain things that maybe the ladies would have been able to adjust to as the season went on, and not get them in those problems because that seemed to be the only thing that was slowing them down was these foul calls. Now, I mean, sure, you can make the argument that hey, maybe those calls should have been called in the regular season. I'm not going to say that that's not an argument. It absolutely could be, right? I think the problem is that the system, for lack of a better phrase, kind of allowed them to believe that maybe those weren't fouls, right? Or whatever the case was. And when you take that into the postseason where things are called a little bit tighter, it definitely affects your play, your game plan. So I don't know if that was as much of a factor as I might think that it was, but I do believe that it was a little bit of a factor. In that Emory game, Grantsville shot 12 of 16 from the line, while Emory shot 11 of 16. So I mean, you got to give them credit there. They were calling it kind of both ways there, right? I think it boils down to every other game, right? It's the timing in which the fouls are called, the pettiness of some of the calls, right? And they'll never admit it, and I don't blame them for not admitting it. But it's pretty obvious that sometimes they realize they made a bad call, so they kind of make up for it with another bad call to kind of even it out. Again, I don't have anything to validate that, but that's definitely the way that it feels. In the Emory game, for Grantsville, it was pretty much all Avery Allred. She had 22 points, 1 3-pointer, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals. She was followed up by number 10, Cody Williams, who had 6 points, 2 3-pointers, 1 rebound, 2 assists, and 3 steals. Ren White was 6 points, 2 3-pointers, 1 rebound. Emmy Butler was 6 points and 2 rebounds. Bailey Louder only had 3 points in that game, but she did snag 10 rebounds for her team, got 3 assists, 4 steals, and 1 block. The offensive portion of it wasn't really there for her, but she was clearly doing great work on the defensive end. Sadie Castano, she ended up with 2 points in that game, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals. Camry Allen with 2 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and Sadie Thornton with 2 steals. Now, for Emory, they were led by number 22, Caitlin Nielsen. She had 14 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists. She was followed up by number 1, Callie Jensen, with 11 points, 1 3-pointer, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal. Number 11, Cabri Gordon, with 8 points, 2 3-pointers, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. So overall, I mean, it looks like it was a pretty good comparison there. Obviously, the point spread was just not what you're accustomed to seeing for the Grantsville Ladies, for sure. A lot of frustration, I think, in that game, and a lot of heartbreak, right? I mean, you can't ignore it. So let's just be real about it. A lot of heartbreak, right? You have this amazing team that does all these things. Your expectations are extremely high. So definitely a lot of heartbreak there after this one. And, I'm sure it was a very solemn bus ride home. But they would have to come back the next day and play South Summit. And so on Wednesday, February 26th, they played South Summit. That game was at 1:20 p.m. I missed the entire thing. I was at work. I didn't get to see any of it. Let's look at that for a little bit. So the Grantsville Ladies end up taking this game 51-38, securing themselves, I believe it's third place in the 3A bracket. So, not what they were looking for, but definitely not the worst thing, and I understand how that's probably, hard to hold on to given the expectations that I'm sure that they had for themselves, right? But in the end, it's not anything to hang your head on, in my opinion. I understand the hurt. I understand the letdown. And, I'm not saying that that's not a factor and that shouldn't be addressed, right? Like, you have to address that within yourself. But I don't feel like you had a bad season by any means. In that game, like I said, 51-38, the Grantsville Ladies take that one. The first quarter was 10-8 South Summit. The ladies come back 14-7 in the second quarter. In the third quarter, it was all Grantsville, 16-3, and then South Summit started making a push in the fourth quarter, but the ladies appeared to have kept their momentum going. But South Summit takes the fourth quarter, 15-13. At the line, the Grantsville Ladies went 8 for 11, while the South Summit Wildcats went 12 of 15. Grantsville was 20 for 63 from the field. South Summit was 12 of 35. In that game, they were led in points by number 11, Avery Allred, with 22 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Number 1, Bailey Louder, with 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 4 steals. Emmy Butler with 6 points, 1 3-pointer, 1 assist, and 1 steal. Cody Williams with 5 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 8 steals. Number 13, Afton Orgill, she had 5 points, 1 3-pointer, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. Number 22, Ren White with 3 points, 1 3-pointer, 2 rebounds, 4 steals. Number 4, Hazley Hall with 2 points. Number 3, Camry Allen with 2 points and 1 assist. Number 2, Sadie Thornton with 1 rebound and 1 block. Number 14, Sadie Castano with 1 assist and 1 steal. As for South Summit, they were led in points by number 3, Mariah Bowen, with 14 points, 1 3-pointer, 1 assist, and 2 steals. Number 1, Emma Broadbent with 9 points, 21 rebounds for that young lady, 1 assist, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Number 32, Taya Rose with 7 points, 1 3-pointer, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. And 11, Mackley Wolstenholme with 6 points, 4 rebounds, 1 block. Number 2, Emery Wolstenholme with 2 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. And number 22, Remy Arnott with 2 rebounds and 1 assist. So again, that game secures the Grantsville Ladies a 3rd place spot, if I'm not mistaken, and brings an end to their phenomenal season. Again, I want to highlight something in particular because it has to be addressed, right? Like, the expectations were extremely high, and so that impact is going to sting. I'm not going to try to downplay that. It's going to sting, So the only thing that I would try to help out with is if I was you ladies, I would hold on to recognizing that what you guys did is phenomenal. I mean, the season that you guys had, you have set a standard that can only be met through equal excellence, right? You can't be some Joe Schmo off the street come in and repeat the success that you ladies had. And so that's something to be proud of. I mean, if you look at which I'll post it all in the video here, so everybody can see. But if you look at the stats of these seniors in particular, what you ladies did is pretty dang impressive. It's pretty dang impressive. You definitely cemented a form of legacy within your communities that I think is going to be remembered for quite some time. I mean, you guys had a phenomenal career, especially the seniors. And as a team, I think the program has just continuously pumped out excellence, and that's something to be proud of. I can guarantee you inspired your teammates. I know you inspired my daughter, so you're inspiring the generations coming up behind you. And I feel pretty confident to say that you probably inspired your opponents, right? I mean, you were the team to beat, and that made everybody have to dig deep within themselves, especially after they played you. I think, I don't know how much of a factor it was, but after the Tooele Grantsville game, I really feel like the defensive pressure, in particular for Tooele, was kind of upped. They upped their game a little bit, and I don't know if it was a direct correlation to that, but I would venture to say that after that game, they kind of realized they had to do things a little bit differently, right? And they had great success with it, but it inspired them to look within themselves and develop those changes, right? So being a catalyst for that change in peers, opponents, future generations, that's something that you can definitely be proud of. Is it gonna take away the sting that you feel right now? No, it's not, right? I mean, that your expectations were what they were and you fell short. That's gonna hurt for some time, right? But I think if you can look at this other stuff that you were able to accomplish, I think it makes it a little bit easier. Hold on to that stuff because you guys are phenomenal players. I know for sure 2 of you are planning to continue on with your basketball journey. I haven't heard anything about anybody else, but I hope that you guys are going out there and trying because you're great players, and you have inspired people, and that's not something that a lot of people do. Not a lot of people inspire other people. A lot of people in this world, they just kind of go with the flow, and they don't do anything that's worth inspiring anybody. So hold on to that. You guys have accomplished things at a very young age that a lot of people won't even do in their life. And it's going to set the framework for who you're going to be. And I know you guys are going to be great individuals. And that goes to all the seniors in Tooele County, by the way. I know right now I'm talking about the Grantsville Ladies, but that's a statement that translates across all 3 schools that we've covered so far. So definitely keep your heads up. Definitely, try your best not to hold on to the obvious right now. Focus on that because again, you guys have done a lot. You guys broke records. You did a lot of things. 1,000 points is not very common, and to have two of them on the same team, get it in the same year, that's pretty dang impressive. So definitely, please don't beat yourself up. You guys had a phenomenal season, and yes, it's heartache. That can't be taken away, but definitely don't beat yourself up. You guys are phenomenal basketball players, and I really truly hope all of you guys are able to continue playing, and building yourself and following your dreams. If that's your dream, maybe you're okay with this being the end, and that's perfectly fine too. I think the unique aspect about high school sports in particular, right? And I'm saying this from observing how it affected my own son when he reached that stage where it was, the noise comes down. You're so accustomed to just living your life, practice games, preparing for the next season, practice games, and then all of a sudden that kind of just stops, right? And I think that's what makes high school sports unique, in some regard, is that I really think that a lot of these players, these athletes, they reach that spot where they don't really know what they're going to do. And the biggest thing I could say to that is that's okay. Don't overstress yourself. What I will say is keep working on a plan. Keep working on an idea of what that might look like. But it's okay if you don't know right now, and it's okay if that changes 3 more times, 4 more times. It really doesn't matter. As long as you are filling whatever void in yourself, however you feel that, hopefully in a positive way, right? We don't want negative ways, right? But in a positive way, you're filling that void, everything will work out. I really do truly believe that, because if sports will teach you anything, it's that hard work will get you places in life. It really truly will. And that's not just in the job, that's within your own lives, right? Hard work will get you through a lot of things. I've said it before. I have yet to encounter anything that individual effort, hasn't been able to help me get through. So effort is contagious. We said it in the last one, and that doesn't just apply to sports. That's the biggest thing that I would ask you to take away from it. So, as the season wraps up, the Grantsville Ladies finished the season with an overall record of 25-2, taking third place in the 3A state tournament, if I'm understanding it correctly. Congratulations to them. Despite not attaining the goal that they were looking for, you had an amazing season. It was an absolute pleasure of mine to be able to cover it and see it, and be a part of the greatness that you guys achieved. And I thank you for allowing me to do that and supporting that, because it truly was inspiring. I mentioned it before, you inspired players, peers, next generations. You also inspired me. It made it very, very fun to do this. And so from my perspective, thank you for everything that you did. And truly, I'm going to wrap this up with the senior salute. If you're watching on YouTube, the remainder of this podcast will just kind of be like a slideshow highlighting all the seniors out here in the Chihuahua County area, and showing their career stats. So I truly do wish all of you nothing but the best in whatever it is that you choose to do, and I hope that you guys continue to play, and I hope to be able to see it. So don't be shy. Definitely reach out. Let me know if you continue to play, and I will do everything I can to support that and get that spread out. Okay, so good luck. Again, great season. This will probably wrap up basketball coverage here at USB, but who knows? I might do a little bit something else. I've kind of had some thoughts floating around that I want to kind of try to do, and I got to figure out how I'm going to transition into these sports that I truly am not familiar with, but I'm going to figure something out. It'll probably just be a little rough. So to everybody listening, thank you for all the support. Continue to share everything for these athletes, please. It's I know it means the world to them to know that people are in their corner, and that's all I'm trying to do. That's all I'm trying to do. So thank you. And Grantsville, great job. 25-2 on the season. Heck of a season for those young ladies. Yeah, great stuff. So, as always, guys, thank you for listening. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, stick around. We're just going to run all the senior salute photos that we did. Probably be an extra minute or so. I don't know. But if you're listening on the audio only and you want to check it out, head over to YouTube, youtube.com. The channel is Unaffiliated Sports Broadcast. Head over there, check it out. And congratulations to all these seniors. Congratulations on all the growth. I firmly believe records don't indicate everything about a team. It's obviously what we measure team success off of, but I don't think that it indicates the true impact of individual players or teams. So, congratulations to everybody on a heck of a season, heck of a career. Thank you. And as always, guys, please take care of yourself. Please take care of each other. And until next time, I'll see you at the games.